Noni here. Welcome back to my channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. I just wanted to check in with you guys. It's been a couple weeks, I think. I don't even remember what I talked about. Oh my God, Lord have mercy. This is gonna be a yawny one. I don't know what is going on with me. I think I had a full 8 hours. I mean, I don't know if anyone that's chronically ill really gets like a full 8, but like, you know, because I'm medicated, so that does help me stay under, but I still, oh, that's nice. I can't even. Okay, well, I'll just let her stay there. Whatever. It's going to distract me. I know it is. It's that ADD kicking in. So, oh my God. So sorry. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to report other than I went to the, yeah, I'm using my sweater because I have nothing else, so there we go. I had an appointment with Dr. H the other day, my foot doctor, the one that did the surgery on my foot, and he said, you know, things are coming along, and he wants me to start walking in shoes by December 8th. I don't know, you know, honestly, I have to say, hold on. Listen, I'm such a classy broad. Oh my God, is Queer Eye coming back? A season 6 of Queer Eye is coming on December 31st! Okay, sorry. I love them. I love them. Jonathan's my favorite, of course. But anyway, I don't know what happened, but I made my coffee. Have you ever had coffee where, like, I guess I didn't add enough water, but it's just super bitter? Like, I use, like, the creamer, like this. See? Sweet Italian. As long as it's sweet Italian, Italian sweet cream, it cannot be generic. If it's generic, I will vomit on you. But it can be any other, like, as long as it's a brand name. Oh my God. But, shit. Anyway, the coffee is like super strong and like bitter, no matter how much creamer you add to it. So anyway, what was I talking about before that though? This one's gonna be all over the place because hold on. My Netflix is in the like where I paused it, and so it's in that space where like it's showing different shows that are coming, and I'm getting distracted by that. I just finished the Christmas Blown Away. Blown Away, if you're not familiar with what Blown Away is, it's people that, it's a competition for glass blowers. Obviously, that is something I would never do because the shit's too hot. But I'm fascinated by it. And obviously, I couldn't trust my hands to be dealing with instruments of fire. I would hurt myself. I would hurt people around me. So, anyway, the doctor. So he told me that I can start walking on my, I'm so distracted. Oh my God. I should turn my TV off. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Let's just say bye-bye. Bye-bye. We're turning you off. Okay. All right. So he told me to start December 8th. I can start walking on it with my shoes on. And that is absolutely terrifying. But also, like, I wonder if it would feel better, because the boot that he gave me is super firm at the bottom, and it's not a real thick layer. It's like a really super firm foam, and then underneath that, just hard ass plastic, but it's really flat. Like, there's no curve, right? Which, in my opinion, when I used to use the curve boot, it was way easier to walk on. However, I tried my curve boot, and because I've been using this straight one for so long, it hurt like a bitch. Like, it made my arch hurt very badly. And it's not, I don't have flat, I don't have flat feet. In fact, mine are very nicely arched. And for whatever reason, the curved boot hurt. So now I'm using the flat boot, which it's called an air cast. And my feet still hurt like an absolute bitch. And I can only take my pain meds, which are my regular pain meds that I take for my chronic illness, twice a day. So how people do this without any pain meds at all, like, the problem is, I think it would be okay if I could take Advil, but I can't take Advil. Like, I can tell what it's doing to my stomach. And it is, I don't know what, like, I'm scared to think about the damage that I've done to my stomach with all the Advil that I've taken. When I first got diagnosed with a chronic illness, I was in so much pain, and, you know, I wasn't given a prescription for any opioid medication. I was given a prescription for tramadol, but if you do your research, even though they classify tramadol as an opiate, it absolutely is not one. Again, research that. I'm telling you, it is not, and doctors also agree it is not, but they won't give you an opiate. Which is kind of fine. Like, opiates will back you up, if you know what I mean, and I'm talking about the bathroom area in the back. You know what I'm saying? It's going to slow things way, 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 way down, and the last thing any of us with chronic pain or chronic illness need to deal with is a bowel obstruction. Nobody needs that. So, if I had opiate medication like hydrocodone or something like that, it's probably something I would only take on like my absolute worst days. And I'm not talking about like for my foot. Honestly, if I had it for my foot right now, since I'm supposed to be walking on it, I would probably take it every day until my foot didn't hurt as much, because the problem is the pain is so bad that it's prohibitive to my walking on it. I avoid walking on it or doing as much as I could be doing because it's just so excruciatingly painful. Like, and I'm already dealing with, and the problem is like, when my body goes through things where it's dealing with something like a broken foot or whatever, if I'm adding more pain to my body, that is a stressor on my body, and so I go into a flare. I have been in one of the worst flares that I've been in a while. Like, it seems like, what sucks about, I mean, there's a lot of things that sucks about a chronic illness, but I guess what makes a chronic illness confusing is like, you kind of forget, like, this flare has been so bad that I told my husband, I was like, I guess I must have been in some kind of remission. But then when you sit down and you think about, well, I guess I wasn't really in a remission because I was still having my regular aches and pains. But sometimes you have flares that are so bad, it makes, like, say last week, look like a cakewalk. And the flare has been mostly focused on my arms. And so, remember how I told you guys, usually it's my legs, like, Okay, the shadow of my head is making it look like I have like a 5 o'clock goatee, like a beard. Anyway, so, okay, so let me give you an example. All right, so this is my backpack. This is, yep. Say hi, backpack. That's my fly strip. Yay! Sorry, fruit flies. What can you do? They're fixing to be out of season, so then I can get rid of that hideous thing. But I get very distracted by them, so I tell Kelly, I'm like, you have to put one up. I don't care. Like, because if I see one like flying anywhere in my eyesight, whether it's here or across the room, like if it crosses my TV, I just, basically anything that's a stimulation or a stimulator, I just can't handle it. Anyway, so, but I knew, as I think I've said this before, like I can tell when I'm about to go into a flare because my eyes get really puffy. Holy shit. I think I yawn a lot too. And my face gets kind of ruddy. But I could definitely tell because my eyes, like normally I don't, like you look in the, you know how you use the restroom, you wash your hands, you look at yourself in the mirror, and like the first thing that I noticed was like my eyes look really puffy right here, just super puff. And that's what kind of tells me like, oh bitch, you in a flare. So anyway, I showed you my backpack. So I was and I've had, so I guess from the middle of last week to it kind of crescendoed, was it yesterday or the day before? Yesterday was Sunday. I think it crescendoed like Saturday. It was so bad on Saturday. Migraines. And my migraines are like, you know, people say, it's not a migraine if it's only on one, you know, if it's not on one side of your head. And it's only a migraine if blah, blah, blah. No. Talk to a neurologist. Okay, my neurologist tells me that is not the case. So I'm listening to her. But sometimes I get optical migraines, which are really funky and weird. I haven't had one in a long time. Knock on some wood, girl. The reason I don't like those is because they come on very suddenly. And let me put my glasses back on. And it's like, you know how when you look at the sun and then you close your eyes and you open them again, no matter where you look, it leaves like a pattern of the sun kind of burned into your retina. So everywhere you look, you see this like burnt sun-shaped kind of thing, or burnt retina thing. And but it comes on sudden, and the surrounding of the, I guess the middle, the part that's like black, looks like a starburst or something, is like, I don't know how to explain it other than it's like wavy, but in zigs and zags all the way around it. It's just the weirdest thing ever. It's like clear, wavy, I don't know, starburst thing. But it gets, you know, so it starts out like a little hole like this, right? And then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until like that's all you see. And it doesn't matter where you turn your head, that's all you can see. And it's painful. It's not as bad as, say, like, it doesn't hurt as much as a regular migraine. Sometimes it can lead into a migraine. That sun is bothering me a lot. Hi. Sometimes it can lead into a migraine, but I mean like a headache where it's a migraine. It's still called an optical migraine. And I always have to go home from work if I have one of those, because you can't see your computer the way you're supposed to see it. It's very weird. But I started having like, I'm like, oh, it's a sinus headache. But it's actually, for me, it's actually a migraine. But it starts here, and then it just goes all the way, my whole forehead, and then it slowly just moves. It stays here, but it moves its way back through my entire head. And it's so painful. Like, I can't have the TV on. I can't have any light, no noise. Kelly had brought home some kind of food that was in a paper sack, and he was rifling through it, and I literally thought I was going to die. I was like, I just wanted to scream, stop it! But you can't scream, you can't cry, any kind of reaction that you would have. Some people actually just vomit violently with migraines, which absolutely sucks. I feel so bad for them, because you don't want to do anything that's going to, what? 2 months after catching herpes from a cesarean surgeon? Oh, sorry. I don't know. I had this new shit that pops up, and it just said somebody died from herpes after getting a cesarean section. So that's absolutely fucking awful. That's bad luck. Damn. Anyway, so yeah, so I had the migraine for days and days, and of course I was trying all my tricks, like I do, the coffee and the antihistamine, like Benadryl, anti-nausea. I usually will take, like, I have a sinus and acetaminophen medication. It's from the store. And because I can't take Advil anymore, like, I'm only taking Advil now if I abso-fucking-lutely have to. If it's to keep me from going to the ER, then I'll take an Advil. And it's the weirdest thing, but if I take a Xanax with it, it doesn't hurt my tummy. I don't know what that's about. That's just what I've discovered. So, oh God, I was going to say something about, because when I first got diagnosed with a chronic illness, I didn't know what the hell was going on with my body. I was just in a ton of pain. And so I got up to 12 Advils a day at like 250 milligrams each. And I would take like 3 in the morning, 3 at lunch, 3 at midday, and 3 at night. That's a lot of fucking Advil. But it's the only thing that works for me. The only thing that works for me in terms of general pain relief without a prescription, right? So when I added it to my tramadol, I would take, 3 Advil, my tramadol, my muscle relaxer, and then I was like, okay. And then I got better okay when my doctor or my PA put me on Belbuca, but my regular doctor, who used to work as a supervisor of my PA when, she died, I had to start going to him. He took me off of it. So, but anyway, so I just know that now it makes my stomach hurt usually within 30 minutes of taking it. And it's not a pain I can handle. It's really, really, really bad. So I think I'm going to lay down, let's lay down and get chill. Hold on. I hope this stupid phone didn't knock me off. Or this call or whatever. Anyway. So. Yeah. So so what happened with my flare was I got a really bad migraine. And then I remember me telling you guys about how my thighs, it feels like really bad muscle fatigue, like what I would imagine people that like run a bunch every day, or like I've been watching Band of Brothers, which was the show. Oliver? No, sir. Which was a show on HBO like 20 years ago about World War II. So good. It's making me cry though, because all those boys, I'm just thinking, because they're all my, my baby's ages, my baby boys' ages. And I'm like, please don't die. And like every single one of them, they're all my babies. And so I'm like, every time one of them dies or gets hurt, I'm just crying. I'm like, is this the healthiest show for you to watch? But I can't help it. I love World War II movies and games and shows. Hey, Oliver, no. Come here to Mama. Come see Mama. Come here. He's so naughty. I got this beautiful, gorgeous plant. Let me show it to you. Hold on. Oh, God, that means I gotta get up. Hold on. Okay. She is absolutely gorgeous. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Do you see her? Wait, are we seeing her? Look at that. I don't know what she's called. I can tell you in a minute. I've got the, but I was coming back from my doctor's appointment with my orthopedic surgeon. Ooh, my phone feels weird. Ugh. Anyway, I was coming back from my appointment with my orthopedic surgeon, and we had to stop at like Tom Thumb. I don't know if you guys have Tom Thumbs where you are, but I'm sure you could find these anywhere. It's called a croton. A croton. I don't know if that's helpful. A croton. C-R-O-T-O-N. And like the fancy name is Codium. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but pretty easy instructions. Just give it water and bright sunlight, and that's it. But I like that it had fall colors. I haven't been able to pick a name for it yet. Like I was thinking amber or autumn, but I feel like those are just so overly done for things that are, that beautiful color. So I don't know. Anyway, so muscle fatigue. So basically like the kind of muscle fatigue in my legs that one would get if you're training for a marathon. You've never ran marathons, but you started training for a marathon, or you just ran a marathon, or you're in the military and you're doing those drills or whatever. Like it's the kind of muscle fatigue where your muscles get so tight and fatigued that they give out on you. That it's like, if I don't get to a place where I can sit soon, I'm just gonna fall on the floor. Like my body is not going to carry me any further. I used to have that in my legs really, really, really bad in the beginning. Like it was just absolutely excruciating. I felt like I had to move and stretch my legs all the time. And I had substantial thighs, so that was a lot of space for my body to be hurting. So, and I've had this weakness in my arms before, but this was like extreme. So I had the migraine, and I'm digging through my bag, my backpack. Okay. Digging through it. So like, if you were to take your backpack and lay it in you're laying on your bed and you take your backpack and you're laying on your lap, right? And then you're going, you're putting your hand, right? Like, I can't show you, like inside the backpack, right? And you're pawing through it and pushing stuff out of the way, like tissues and other stuff out of the way to try to find it. And I could only do that for like, within like 30 seconds, it felt like every time I had to lift my arm to move a section, like all the Kleenex, I always have like, I don't know how or why, but like 5,000 wads of unused tissue in my fucking purse. I don't know how that happens, but it's always in there. And so I'm always having to push stuff out of the way. And like I said, within just a few seconds, it felt like every time I had to, and I'm barely lifting my hand, like I'm lifting, you know, the whole length of my arm from like here to here, and just like doing this, right? It felt like somebody had put 50-pound weights on my wrist. And I was trying so hard to keep going because I still couldn't find it. I was actually straining, like, just to dig through my purse. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because I've never had it like that bad in my arms before, where my arms were just useless. And that makes you feel so many things. Like, it makes you feel like, am I just being a big fat pussy here? Like, is this, like, it just, it seems so unfathomable that you wonder, like, is this real? Like, what is this? Because this is silly. I'm just trying to look for shit in my purse. How am I not able to do this? And so, a word I always use a lot, or I have used a lot over the past 5 years, is like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous. I first came across that arm problem years ago when I was trying to fold laundry. And I had a big breakdown, a big cry fest, because I was like, I can't even fold. Like, I am just gently folding laundry. Like, it's not, and it was like small things like washcloths, because everything I own I hang up unless it's like underwear, socks, washcloths, right? So this is small shit. I'm not trying to fold like big giant sweaters, you know. So it was frustrating, and it was like, if I had to tell somebody, oh, I'm sorry, I can't help you fold those washcloths, it's just too hard on my arms, you know, you'd be like, okay, girlfriend, it's too hard on your arms. Okay, why don't you take a little rest? You know, like, I'm harder on myself than anybody, but those were the days back then where I would just have a big boo-hoo cry fest, which is normal. Like, in the beginning, when you don't know, like, what the fuck is going on with me right now? What is happening to my body? Like, I had no idea. And even when you do find out, like, oh, I have small fiber neuropathy. Okay, well, what the fuck is that? Nobody's ever heard of it before. And why? What does that have to do with me not being able to lift my arms or use my legs? Or, you know, it's one of the most frustrating parts of it, because it's like, I mean, the nerve pain sucks ass, don't get me wrong, but it's like, the nerve pain now, you'll just hear me, I'll just start going, no, 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 and I'll start like, no, 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 and, you know, sometimes be laughing because it's just the silliness of, it just hurts so bad, and there's nothing you can do but just like beg your body, no, please don't do this, no, 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 no. But for me, it's the muscle fatigue. Like, I can't even fold something, or I can't look through my purse for something. That's just so lame and ridiculous. So I guess today's message is, just don't be so hard on yourself. Like, this is what it is, and it is different for everybody. Everybody experiences it differently. And a lot of us have the same experiences. So, you know, I ran across one of my girlfriend's pages where she was explaining that she wanted to add, one of her goals was she wanted to add fitness back. Okay, girlfriend's already in really good shape. Like, she's a grandma too. She's as old as I am. I might have to punch her in the face because I can't. No, that can't be. That can't be. Because if she looks that good and she's my age, I'm just gonna see you later. But she's in great shape. And that might even be worse for her because, you know, when people look at you and you have an invisible illness and you look super healthy, like, you know, I don't know if when people look at me, they see someone that's super healthy because I'm a fluffy girl. I'm also older. I never wear makeup. I don't have my friggin' hair anymore because I just don't have the ability to, like, do anything for a sustained amount of time. Like, it would take me, like, a couple hours to curl my hair, maybe more. It would take me a couple hours probably to do my makeup. Because I've gotten to the point where using my hands are like, you know, I'm like a little T-Rex. And on the days, if I ever have another incident like I did with my arms where I can't even dig into my purse. In fact, I mean, they're probably still like that. I haven't tried to dig into my purse. But I wouldn't be surprised if I went to dig in my purse right now, if it didn't start happening again. Like, the thing where I just can't even lift my arms. So, but anyway, she's super healthy, but she was talking about how she wanted to add fitness into her, back into her routine. And she's like, I just can't, for right now, I just can't do that. I just can't. And, you know, sometimes people like us, people with a chronic illness, get such shit because it's like, the reason that you're sick or that you have pain is because you don't move around enough. And it's like, okay. Okay, you don't get it. And it sucks because people that don't have this or any of the other invisible illnesses really don't get it. And that's just how it's always going to be. Like, they just don't get it. And it might be even worse for my girlfriend because they're going to be thinking to themselves, you look healthy to me. Like, why can't you take the stairs? Or why can't you do this? Or why can't you do that? And it's like, I just can't, man. Like, my body is saying no. And that's not what people are getting. That push through it. Push through it. It's like, okay, listen. My body, my arms are saying, no, bitch. We are done. There's no pushing through. There's no choice to push through. I would never wish this on, like, my worst enemy except for fuckface. And if you don't know who fuckface is, go back and watch my video about childhood trauma. I think I would wish this on him. Sorry, dude, but not really sorry because you're a piece of shit. So anyway, but normally I wouldn't wish anything on anybody because that's not who I am. But this guy has it coming. So, but it's just, I don't know. I am glad that I have gotten to a better phase of acceptance. I don't remember the last time I cried about it. Like, normally that arm thing with trying to find the medication, I probably would have just started crying pretty hysterically. Like, but I didn't because I was like, bitch, you have a migraine right now, and crying in any fashion is not going to help you. It's going to make you worse. So I was able to just be like, this is what you got to do. Like, you know, disassociation is very helpful, actually. So anyway, I guess that's all I have. I did watch Red Notice. That was a great movie with, it's on Netflix. Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, which is also The Rock, and Wonder Woman. Gadot something. I don't know her last name, but she's absolutely, I can't talk. She's absolutely, okay. This is part of the small fiber neuropathy. Sometimes I find there are specific words that normally I can say. I'm very well spoken. Usually I can read the spoken word very eloquently and all of that. And then there's other times where I I can try saying a word I've said a lot over my lifetime, like absolutely, and find that I can't say it. Sometimes even if I break it up like that, I can't say it. So, and that's another thing, this America, I swear to God. Burning mouth syndrome, y'all. Comes with the territory. And some of y'all that have some fibroneuropathy may not get it. I notice right now I'm having a lot of issues with, like, I just said of like that. Like, it's almost like, it's not my voice that's tremoring, but my mouth kind of, I don't know any other way to put it, but, yeah, it's all part of the fun. So anyway, Red Notice, oh, Tom Hanks. I think this is on Netflix, but just look up News of the World. The reason I love this movie is, one, Tom Hanks. Okay, love him, adore him. But also, so it's about a guy, like, this is like way back. It's right after the Revolutionary War. And they're in Houston, Texas, to be specific. And apparently, there were people back then that would get the news from, say, if you're traveling through San Francisco, right? You'd pick up newspapers all along the way, and then you'd make stops. And you'd take all the newspapers you collected, and you would read to people for a dime. You know, people that wanted to come hear you read the news from different parts of the world. They'd pay you a dime and you'd read it. So I guess, one, it was good for, back then not everybody could read, especially women. Most women weren't allowed to read. I think that's true with the slaves as well. I don't believe they were allowed to read. And I can't think and then, like, anyone that was poor, probably didn't get an opportunity to go to school or finish school. And so they weren't taught. I'm not sure if girls, I guess it just depended, like, women reading, I guess it just depended on, one, if you were poor, right? Like, either way, it didn't matter your gender. If you were poor, I think you just weren't reading because you had to work, right? Like, it didn't matter. You had to work. You didn't have time to go to school. But anyway, I know that would be helpful to people that couldn't read or didn't know how or whatever. But also, these people are in Houston, Texas. Are they ever going to get a chance to go to San Francisco? Who fucking knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, because back then, like, if you say, hey, I'm going to San Francisco, and your mom's not going, your mom can pretty much guarantee she's probably never going to see you again. So I always ponder on things like that. Like, God, back in the day when I remember, like, going a week without seeing my boyfriend and being like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And these people, like, maybe never saw each other again. Like, maybe it was just letters, and the letters would take months if they even found their way to you, which I'm sure they didn't during wartime. So, or if they did, it was rare. But anyway, so the reason I love this movie, it's already a good movie, but he comes across, in his travels, he comes across this girl in Texas. She's a little, what is she? Oh God, she's a little German girl. She's got real beautiful pale blonde hair, like very, very almost white. But it's cut like a bob, like up to here. But she's super tan because she's in Texas. And she looks to be about maybe 9. Between 9 and 11, maybe. Between 9 and 11. Really cute. She reminds me of Jennifer, I don't know her last name, but Hunger Games girl, the main girl in Hunger Games. She looks so much like her, and I love that Jennifer girl. She's so irreverent. She could be my daughter. Anyway, so, hi. Okay, so, we're just taking a tour of my room. Anyway, so, what was I saying? Shit. Take a shot. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I tried to get through this, but... Oh, news of the world. So, the reason I found it so interesting was because this girl had been taken by an Indian tribe, to my best recollection, but it was a Kiowa tribe. So she starts talking to him, and he's talking to her like, hey, 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 you know, whoa, whoa, whoa. She sees him and she starts running away. And he's like, whoa, 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 stop, stop, stop. And she's in like this beautiful leather, you know, had the different, I mean, all the tribes were different things, but it was a hide, and it was the kind that you wear over you. It looks like a dress, but it's a hide, and it's got all the hanging strips, you know what I mean, across the shoulder, I mean, from the bottom of the arm to the bottom of the dress, that kind of thing. And she starts speaking to him, and it's in Kiowa, and I know it's in Kiowa because it, like, I had the captions on or whatever, and it says Kiowa. And my husband is half Creek and half Kiowa. And you never, like, whenever you see a movie, like, you see tribes, like, and I'm not dissing any of them, but, like, you just don't see Kiowa, ever. No, it's never represented. To my knowledge, I've never seen it. And so the fact that she was speaking it, I was like, holy shit, like, I've never even heard the language spoken. So it was really interesting. So I would rewind it a lot because I was learning. Like, I can speak a little bit of Creek, not much, but a little bit. Making a video, just FYI. But I thought that was super interesting. And that definitely kept me entertained, just rewinding it and listening to her speak Kiowa. Anyway, it was really sweet. They're trying to get her back to her German family because somehow she got split up from her Kiowa family. And I guess it was their job, but as you would figure, a young girl back then is not safe from prying eyes of some very sick men. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of danger in him traveling alone with her, trying to get her to her German family. And it fell on him to do that because, I guess, what was it called? The agent, the Native American agent that was supposed to be there. Of course, in the movie, they just called them Indians, but the agent that was supposed to be there had gone back to the reservation for 3 months. I think they said for what, but I can't remember. But anyway, they were like, you like just either dump her, like just leave her alone in this town, or, you know, take her. So he decided to take her, and it just is, you know, I won't like spoil it for you, but it's so touching, so good. It did make me tear up. So, Red Notice is good, and then News of the World. So, give those a try. I hope you like them as much as I did, and I will talk to you later. Have a good day. A beautiful day.